We are live. Let me see here. I got to pull it up on my phone because I feel like if I
Oh yeah,
don't,
the comments.
yeah, the comments are really weird on desktop. So there we go. All right, I got it on my phone. Make mute down. There we go. Cool. Yeah, we're live on the Facebook group now, so that's cool. That
Okay,
works.
cool. We'll just wait for some people to get in here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's already 5, so we started off hot, man.
Good.
What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone's having a good day. We're gonna wait maybe a couple more seconds and see if we can get some more people to join us here. What's going on, Nathan? What's going on, Brandon? How are you guys liking the course? I'm curious. I really want to get some feedback today. I want to know how the course is going for you guys. What's going on, Jeff? Jeff left us a stellar review. That's been super insightful.
Thanks,
Jacob's
Jeff.
here. Jose's here. Ooh, let's go. It's gonna be a fun one. Get ready to have your brain picked, Austin. Nathan says,
cool.
Austin, I started to pressure washing because of your videos. I did 110K this year in Rev. Yo, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Nathan, real quick, where did the majority of your leads come from? So, I mean, that's a substantial amount of money to make in your first year of business. I'm curious as to where a lot of your leads were coming from. W course so far, still confused on Google Sites and everything. We can get into that, Jacob.
That's super cool that he said that my videos really helped him out. Really cool thing. Earlier today, I was at the Power Wash store in San Antonio, and there was a guy there that's been messaging me on Instagram. His name is Frankie. He owns a little business in San Antonio, and I told him I was going to go to the Power Wash store this morning. If he wanted to meet up with me, he could, because he's been wanting to meet me. And he met me over there, and he had this gift for me, and it's a collectible Batman pop thing.
That's funny.
And I don't know why I think this is so cool, but he said that he showed me his trailer, he's pulling it with his little sedan, and I thought it was so cool that he got inspiration from watching my videos, and we took a picture because he wanted a picture, and like it's so cool to like see people that are actually like benefiting from a simple thing as just a video, which is like great. That's how I got started. Just
that's it's funny you say that, because I can't tell you how many times, like, a really impactful video I recently released on my YouTube channel that's also in the course is all about setting up the Google Guaranteed. And the amount of times, like, I've taken calls in the more recent weeks from guys who were wanting to like work with us or be clients of us, and they were like, hey, like, we saw your video on Google Guaranteed and we got it set up, and like ever since then we've been getting a lot of phone calls. It's super cool when like the videos that like we put out, like those actually have like real world impact. So I totally understand. Like, that's super cool.
Hold on, I just got an Instagram DM from Travis. He's in the group. He said he's wondering how he can join the live. I'm gonna DM. I'm gonna send him back. Tell him to word.
Yeah, for sure. Nathan, just so to your original question, we're going to dive into some stuff here, but I asked you, you said you did 110K your first year, and you said 70% was from Facebook and haven't touched Google, which is really interesting, right? Because everything that I talk about and everything I preach is all about Google. So the fact that you've hit 6 figures and you haven't really increased your visibility on Google is kind of a testament to like what the capabilities of this next season and the following seasons are really going to be. So that's going to be super awesome. Austin, Jacob Fields asked, when did you start pressure washing?
I'm sorry, guys. This guy DM'd me. He just bought the program, and he made out time this afternoon to join the group, but somehow he's not getting access. I'm just trying to get him in real quick, and then we're going to start this off.
Jose says, Google is so confusing. I'll have to rewatch that module like 7 times. Like the thing with Google is, obviously at the end of the day, like the majority of homeowners, that's where they're going looking for your services. And your business can be found in one of 4 areas. You've got Google Guaranteed at the top. You've got Google Ads. You have the map pack, and you have the search engine optimization, or the organic search engine results. Now, you don't have to dominate all 4 of those areas. You can pick and choose, and obviously there are pros and cons and strategies to each of those sections. So it's not like you have to absolutely dominate all 4 areas, coming out of the gate. One of the easiest methods or areas of Google to really focus on and dominate is obviously the map pack, because your rank in the map pack is very predicated on the amount of reviews that you have. So the more reviews you get, inside the course, we have that video, washing for review strategy. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. But the more reviews you get, the higher you rank in the map pack, the more calls you get. Now, obviously, it doesn't impact your Google guarantee, Google Ads, and SEO, and those sorts of sections of Google, but it can definitely make a pretty big impact. Nathan says, I feel like it's super saturated, but maybe we can work on Google together. Nathan, if you shoot me a DM, maybe we can look at your market. I can kind of take a little bit more in-depth look at like who's doing SEO, how competitive it is, Google Ads, those sorts of things. So yeah, shoot me a DM. I'll take a look at your market for you. But yeah, are you good to go?
Yeah, I'm ready. I think you should be in here. Okay, so guys, look, this is the first live of the program, and I'm super excited. Like I said, this is something that Sean and I have been going for the last 6 months. A ton of time has been put into this. I know you guys have been working on this for a long time, so I hope you guys are enjoying the course. Yeah. And we're gonna get right into it. Obviously, guys, I started the program just because I get a lot of DMs. Sean does too, and I wanted to put something together that was one, bulletproof, a step-by-step blueprint that you guys can follow, and I wanted to make sure it was super, super affordable. Now, guys, Sean and I are not tying you to stay in this as far as monthly. If you guys, want to cancel, you can. But by all means, I promise here, and my goal here is that we provide more than $30 a month worth of value to you guys, and that's going to come in the form of a lot of these private mentorship groups and calls that we're on. So the idea here is going forward is, that was the poll. I took a poll in the Facebook group a few days ago, and I kind of wanted to figure out where you guys were at in your business, and a lot of you guys said you guys are kind of in that 0 to 40K per year. And that's exactly what this program is designed for. We want to see you guys hit that 6-figure level, because that's when things really start to get kind of interesting. You can kind of play around with, if this is a really solid career that you guys want to join, that you want to go full time on, because I know a lot of you guys are doing anywhere from 0 to 40, with taxes and expenses. It's probably not something you guys can do quite full time. So we want to really try to get you guys to that 6-figure level. And that's what we're going to try to do with these private mentorship calls. So each week we're going to have different topics. We're going to see about getting a lot of you guys on, because I'm pretty sure we can get a link together and get you guys on the call as well, dive into your business, see what kind of problems you guys are having. And then also, I don't know if you guys saw one of my notifications I put in the group. We're going to have Joe Deary with Powerful Improvements on next week. This guy, Joe Deary, is like literally who I learned all my power washing technicalities from. So it's going to be really, really cool to get him on next week's call. Other than that, guys, I really appreciate you guys getting the program, and I hope you guys are learning a lot. Take your time on it, of course. Also want to make sure you guys know that my Calendly link should be on the homepage of that program. Now, guys, I offer paid coaching calls outside of the group, but for you guys, since you guys are in my mentorship group, those are free. You guys have access to my personal cell phone number on the Calendly link every Monday through Friday from 5 to 9. So if you guys want to hop on the phone with me, I'm clearing my afternoon for you guys. Like I said, I'm trying to go full time with you guys, because when I started my channel, like, it was all about, I want to get fulfillment, right? I got fulfillment by starting my own business. And now what really fulfills me is like some of these comments that says, Austin, I watched your videos and I made 6 figures last year. Like, dude, that's what gets me off. Okay. Is helping you guys and seeing that progression. So I'm dedicated to just the people in this group. So if you guys want to hop on one-on-ones with me, you guys have issues with customers, maybe you have a customer on the fence, let's call them up. Let's get them right here on the stream. I mean, I'm wanting to help you guys. So I just kind of wanted to knock off this call by just kind of going into that, and I really appreciate you guys getting the course.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this whole Q&A that we're doing, every Wednesday, it's going to be the same time every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, or 7:30, Austin time, whichever. But we want to try to have guests, and we want to try to provide value here. But the premise of this is really for you guys. So any of those pressing questions that maybe didn't get asked or get answered in the course, like, fire them off here. Like, I try to do a really good job of like fielding those here. So if you guys have something, maybe you're running Google Ads and you're not having good luck, maybe you're having issues with sales, whatever the case may be, like, always feel free to fire off those questions here, and Austin and I can answer those live. Now, like Austin said, we have a really exciting guest next week when we do our live Q&A. But in the future, we want to actually bring you guys on. Like we want to hear, the real world situations and issues that you guys are dealing with, the adversities that you guys are coming up with. And we want to have a conversation, work through those, because you're not the only one that's dealing with those same things. Everyone in this community, for the most part, is at the same level of business that you are. And, like we've been there, we've seen it. We know how to overcome those things. So in the future, we want to bring you guys on, but never hesitate to hold back on your questions as far as the things you want us to answer. And honestly, feedback on the course. Like Austin and I, our plans are to continue to expand this course. We want to continue to add videos. We want to add documents. We want to add things that make sure that we cover all of the things that you could possibly want to know. So we only know what those things are if you let us know. So yeah, that's kind of all I have. Also, I'm not sure what else you have to go into.
Well, one thing I wanted to kind of touch on, I know I touch on this a lot in my program, and you guys probably hear it on my YouTube channel a lot. I'm sure this is like something you guys are like, all right, Austin, like stop, you're telling this with me a lot, is the damn consistency. And I say this in the program a lot too, like the person who's inconsistently doing a half-assed job is going to beat the person that's inconsistently doing a good job. Yeah. And case in point, I wish I could share my screen, but I can't anymore because this Facebook post got taken down by the guy because I'm sure he got called out. But there was a post on my Facebook group, the Pressure Washing Business Owners Facebook group. This guy took the time and literally wrote 10 or 15 paragraphs. I mean, it was long. It was to the point where you had to hit see more and continue reading this post. I'm sure some of you guys have seen it. But this guy was going into, I tried pressure washing. I've done it for 8 months. I knocked doors. I did this. It didn't work. You guys, this industry is not what it seems like. It's just not a good industry. I tried flyers and it didn't work. I tried realtors, it didn't work. And on the bottom, he had a picture of his look. See, some of these guys saw the post. He included a picture of one of his flyers, and guys, this flyer was look, not to pick on the guy because I want him to do well, but it was easily one of the worst flyers I've ever seen. It was a PDF. It was a piece of printer paper in Times New Roman font. I offer pressure washing with the phone number, and he was sticking that on doors. So, and all the comments were like, dude, and my top comment that I got like 50 likes on a comment. That's never happened before. But I told the guy, I was like, look, this is a very good example of why I'm not worried about competition entering the industry, because everyone's worried about all the competition. Because whenever I started 5 years ago, I know one of these guys asked how long I've been in business. I've been in business for 5 years. But whenever I got in 5 years ago, there was all kinds of names. Google, easily 30 names. Today, there's only 4 of those names that are still there. And I've paid attention to those 4, 2 of which are my good friends. One of them's an ass who I don't talk to, and the other one I barely know. But that just goes to show you that a lot of people that are going to be in the industry today aren't going to be in here or aren't going to be there 4 years from now unless they're well established. A lot of these guys are fly-by-night guys. They try this, they try that. It didn't work. They quit. They find every excuse in the book to leave, and that's fine. Now, again, like there's a lot of guys on YouTube talking about the industry. It's a really, really great industry. A lot of people are joining, but again, the analytics and the statistics always say that 90% or 95% of businesses that start aren't here a year or 2 from now.
Yeah.
So,
I really feel like I want to lock in on this specific topic. Like, I feel like this shiny object syndrome is so apparent in the pressure washing industry. In the case that you just talked about, the guy who showed you his flyer in that post and everybody attacked him in the comments, like guys, it's really, really simple. Like, it's very oversimplified. At the root of it, when homeowners and business owners, the majority of them, when they want your services, when they need your services, they go to Google and they look for them. And if your visibility is there, right? Like right now, if you're thinking like, oh, I'm not getting any leads. If you go to Google and type in pressure washing company near me, if you're not seeing yourself in the Google Guaranteed, the Google Ads, the Google Map Pack, or the SEO areas, that's a result of you not getting those leads. Because if the majority of homeowners are going there, that's where you have to go. You can do the 5 around, you can do the yard signs, you can do the door to door. All of those things are great. But when you want to get to a point where you want to automate these things and you really want your phone to ring, obviously we know that word of mouth referrals are the best way to generate leads. That's going to come in time. That's not something you can manipulate. You can accelerate that process by, increasing your visibility on Google, or you can put boots on the ground and do the door to door, yard signs, etc. Mike in the comments, Sean, can you do SEO on a site even if my website is on another hosting company? It's a very long-winded answer, Mike, and I don't want to drown out this. If you want to shoot me a DM, I can kind of elaborate on that for you.
Yeah, Barack a few comments ago asked a pretty interesting question. How do you not get commentized in this industry? There's only so much I can offer on top to separate myself from other locals in the area. And that's the thing. There's a lot of companies offering the same thing. But what I think is the difference, kind of, is obviously there's 1,000 pressure washing companies out there. They all offer the same thing: gutter cleaning, window cleaning, roof cleaning, house washing. What's going to separate those companies is, really is, who advertised the most, who puts themselves out there the most, the mattress guy in your town did it. The car guy in your town did it. The guy who puts themselves out there the most wins the battle.
Absolutely.
And it's not always the person with the best product. I think Grant Cardone talks about this a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
He says, do you think Starbucks is good coffee? It's like, no, Starbucks is shit coffee. The reason why it's so well known is because they're so well known. There's one on every corner. They're the sponsors of some of the Major League Soccer stadiums. Like, they just put it out there all the time.
Yeah, and it's all about visibility. Yeah. It really is. It's all about visibility. The analogy that I make on a lot of my sales calls is I ask guys, if I were to move into your area tomorrow and I called you up and said, hey, I need to buy a house, who's the real estate agent you would recommend that isn't friends and family? The person that they typically say, if I go to their Facebook page, if I go to their Google business profile, like, they post all the time. They post about their listings, they post about their sales, they post about the trainings they're doing. Their visibility is extremely high. Like, it really, it really is all about the visibility. I think an important comment I want to call out here, and guys, again, don't hesitate. If you guys have specific questions that you've had when you're going through the course, or specific things you guys are dealing with in your business, like, drop them here. But Jose says, don't quit is the key. My area is super saturated right now. I even have a $25 driveway guy in my neighborhood that I've had to go behind and fix, and that gets them talking about me in a positive versus the $25 guy. So this is a very interesting topic, and it's a very controversial one. And I'd like to give my input, even if it opposes Austin's input, and maybe we can have a discussion about this. When you're a new business, like a really new business, let's say like under 40K a year, like you're just getting started, I think that this is in alignment with the washing for review strategy, right? Obviously, there's a degree of learning curve. You want to get out there, you want to get your pictures, you want to get more hands-on hours on, your surface cleaners and your equipment and things like that. But doing these driveways for very cheap, if you post that in a group, like, I'm doing these driveways for $50 or $100, you're going to get massacred in the comments. I'm on the side of, like, do it, right? Especially if you're a newer business, because it gives you the experience, it gives you the Google reviews. Even if you're not making any money, like, you're still in pursuit of entrepreneurship and you're progressing in the right direction. So I'm always a fan of that. Now, once you get to a certain point in your business, you're at $150,000, $200,000 a year. Yeah, obviously you don't want to be doing driveways for like next to nothing. Like, you want to charge what your worth is. But I think that so often there's a misconception with, like, guys are like, I don't want to get out of my truck for less than like $225. And it's like, that's okay if you're over six figures doing this full time and you have enough leads to support that, right? But when you're getting 2 leads per week, like, you have to capitalize on those things, and don't do it because of the money. Do it because of the love of the business, because eventually those things will pay dividends. I don't know what your take is on that, Austin, but that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. What's in a lot of my mindsets videos that are in the program. At the end of the day, there was one video I did in the program where I talked about 2 scenarios. I think, God, it's in the first module 1 or module 2, but I said there's 2 scenarios. There's a guy who washes for reviews, does things for either free or a very good deal. Guys, I don't want you to go out there and wash for free, but what I'm saying is, if you have to throw in this or throw in that, or do this and do that for a review, that's great. Or versus the guy who comes right out the gate and just goes for the slam dunk home run, $800 house wash and driveway every single time. The guy that's doing scenario 1 is going to just force multiply and just get so much more work and so much more reviews, to where in 6 months' time, you know, if he's just solely focusing on getting reviews at any cost, whether that's just door knocking, saying, hey, we'll do this review that way I can get that, or I'll do this driveway that way I can get some reviews and pictures from you. That guy after 6 months could easily have 20, 30, 40, 50 reviews versus the guy who has no. Here's the thing: the guy who's trying to get the slam dunk right off the bat, that has no reviews. Why would a homeowner pick that person over someone else? It's just like, if I'm getting a similar competitive price, I'm going to go for the guy who's reputable, who has the pictures and whatnot. So you're already fighting a losing battle. Just suck it up, take it on the chin, get the damn customer. Because, dude, I'm telling you, like, and this goes back into like the importance of a CRM, which I didn't do for this first 6 to 12 months. I can't remember exactly, but I wasn't inputting my customers in the CRM, and I did a lot of work for free, but most of that was for nothing because I wasn't able to put them in the CRM. So if you can wash for reviews, stack your reviews, because, dude, I'm telling you, once you get to 50, 60 reviews, your whole world's going to change.
Changes.
And you're going to have those 60 customers in your CRM in which you can retarget, remarket to, which I talk about later in the course when I dive into the Markate CRM or whatever CRM you guys are using. But this whole snowball effect with, you know, it's a lot of sacrifice. Guys, this is a business. You're not going to get paid like a job. You're going to do a lot of stuff, spend a lot of time with little to no money in the beginning, okay? But if you can just kind of go through it, and this is also why I talk about, hey, don't leave your job in your first few months. Don't quit everything for this business, because so many people do that in the Facebook groups, and they fail and they sell their equipment, and then their equipment's for sale for 50 cents on the dollar, right? Keep your job. That way you can sacrifice your time, build reviews, get pictures, get experience, get your website rocking and rolling, and let this snowball just go right down the hill. And 6 to 12 months from now, you'll have a bunch of reviews. Your website will be on point. You'll have that experience, and you'll be in a position where you can actually start getting leads organically. And then you can start having the conversation with you and your wife at the kitchen table. Hey, we have this business. Like, we can really do this. And that's how you actually get to somewhere.
Yeah. Yep. You know, and like, that's interesting that you bring that up, because what can happen if you go into this full time too quickly is, you know, like the situations we just talked about, where let's say you go out to do an estimate and it's a driveway, right? And they have an estimate for $100, and you're like, yeah, I'm at like 200, right? You can't come down to that 100 because you feel the pressure of having to pay rent and put food on the table, right? Versus if you have a full-time job and all of this is just kind of like a learning experience and really just getting your feet wet and trying to snowball all of this, you can undercut that guy, get the experience, get the review, get the social media content, get the opportunity to upsell, you know, all of those things, because you don't feel that pressure. So I definitely think it's definitely important. So Jacob Field says, does school count as my job? Yeah, I would. I don't know. Probably. Travis,
I mean, he must be in school. So yeah.
Yeah. Travis says, I'm at 73 5-star reviews, and I've gotten 6 calls in the last 6 months. I'm banking that it's something to do with my website and SEO related. If you have 73, hold on, just really quickly. If you have 73 reviews and you've only gotten 6 calls in the last 6 months, something's messed up with your Google business profile. You
drop your website.
Yeah. Well, it's not the website, it's the Google business profile. I mean, you know, if you're at 73 5-star reviews, you should be, you know, of course, if you're in Upper Michigan and there's 3 feet of snow on the ground, that's one thing, but I'm assuming that's not the case. Got to get somebody to fix my website. I know a guy, and SEO. I still know a guy, and hopefully to start getting calls. Yeah, reach out to me, Travis. I think we briefly talked though. Cameron says, Jacob, I feel that I did college full time and worked full time last year. Yeah, I mean, it's just I definitely agree with you, Austin. I think that is a big mistake that a lot of guys make. And, you know, I get the luxury of talking to 4 to 5 pressure washing business owners a day who reach out to us for marketing of all walks of life, and the stresses that some of these guys feel because they left their job and to do this full time when they were only averaging 1 to 2 jobs per week is, you know, crazy, because they're like, hey, Sean, like, I want to hire you guys to do my marketing, but like, this has to work next week, or like, I'm not going to eat. And like, that's not a position you want to be in. And typically we have pretty real conversations where I'm like, you may want to go back to work full time or figure something else out, because there's no marketing solution that's going to like overturn your business overnight. It's not going to happen. It's a
Yeah.
collective effect of a lot of things, right? Like you could hire our company and yeah, we'll run your Google ads and do your Google guaranteed, but like, that might produce some leads, but maybe it's not enough to sustain you full time, right? Like you have to get out and do your door to door and your yard signs, and there's just so much more to it. So, anyways, Brock says, why are landing pages so important? They're only important if you're working with a really good Google Ads company and they're building specific Google Ads or landing pages to run Google Ads to. We typically don't do landing pages for Google Ads unless there's extenuating circumstances. I don't really find it to be that valuable. Jacob's in his junior year of high school. Yo, kudos.
One thing I want to touch on real quick with you guys is I haven't talked about it too much on my YouTube channel. I've alluded to it. I made a YouTube short about it. I have not made a video about it because I'm in the middle of potential lawsuit, actually. But there was a situation. There was a situation with a building that I washed, in which the power bank, the power electrical on the side of the building, literally blew up. Okay. And this is going to tie back to in one of the videos I talked about like the do's and don'ts of pressure washing. I didn't make a mistake at this building because the fight is I'm going with it's not my fault, and I have every reason to believe it wasn't my fault. But the covering of the outlets, the taping of the doors, the covering of the plants, that is really something you guys really need to pay attention to. Because if you guys are in your first year of pressure washing, you guys are definitely, and if you guys pay attention to my driveway cleaning video where I talked about, how to post treat the driveway and how you spray away, you move around your body, you spray away from the grass, spray away from the garage door. Because in my first 2 years, I've definitely repainted at least 5 or 6 garage doors. I've definitely dug out bushes with my own shovel and gone to the plant store and replanted bushes. The situation with this building is the owner told me, hey, Austin, make sure you tape the outlets. Some of them are loose. That's already a standard procedure in the business. I said, sir, we already taped that outlets. That's something we already do. You don't need to worry about that. Well, which we did. We went around and taped all the outlets. Well, this huge electrical on the side, it's pretty, there's not really any way to cover that. And plus, we do so many buildings and houses where that's never been an issue. Of course, we're not spraying the power washer directly in the seals. But it just so happened that this old building had a very tight little crack behind it, or it must have, and water as it came down from the building, as it was going down, water just got in the wrong place at the wrong time, intervened with the wrong wire, and it just so happened to spark, and the whole thing went haywire. Obviously, I don't expect you guys to run into a situation like that because I've done a lot of these buildings and it's never happened. But, it could be as simple as just an outlet, making sure you tape your outlets. I mean, that's something that you guys really need to pay attention to.
In lieu of that question, Austin, really quickly, and I don't know about Markate. I know House Call Pro has this, but can you, under a customer's profile, if you have Markate, can you take pictures and save it to that profile? Like their specific profile?
I know you can take pictures and save it with estimates. Like if you're doing an estimate in person and you want to have record of damage or any of that, you can save those pictures and send it in the estimate. So it'll be there. I'm not sure if you can. I mean, I'm sure you probably could. I haven't looked into it. I know you can do it with estimates. It's the same deal.
So to that point, right, is I think it kind of it touches on what you were just saying. Like I know House Call Pro has it, but obviously if you're starting a job like that, at least when the familiarity that I have is like take your pictures and videos before you start work, and then take the pictures and videos after. That way, when you're in a situation like that, you can always refer back to those. But I want to make sure this question doesn't get missed, Austin. But Brett asked, is there any specific tape that is needed for outlets or just painter's tape? Because I think there is.
Not painter's tape, because the blue tape is pretty flimsy. We use thick duct tape, like Gorilla Tape. That stuff is really, really sticky. Obviously you want to make sure you put that on before you wet it down, because sometimes I'll forget an outlet, but the surface will already be kind of wet because of the water dripping down, and then tape isn't going to stick, so I have to dry it out. But seal the outlet, whether however you got to do it. It's duct tape is usually the best. that's going to literally save you from a very bad situation.
Well, guys, we are coming up on the 30 minutes. We try to keep these lives usually right at about the 30-minute mark. I guess my last thoughts here is if you've gone through the majority of the course, we would love to have your feedback. Obviously, how reviews are super important to your business for Google and ranking up in the map pack. The reviews that you guys give us, even in these comments, are so monumental. So if you can take a second, let us know what you think about the course, the feedback that you have for us, and any last minute questions. If there's something that we haven't covered, or any last minute questions, like feel free to fire those off.
Let's do some last minute questions. Sorry to cut you off, Sean.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
One thing I did want to touch on real quick, I looked up and the 30 minutes has already gone, is the realtors, guys. I talked about realtors earlier, and I just posted on my Pressure Washing Business Owners Facebook group and on the Six Figure Pressure group. I got a text message today, and every week I'm getting text messages from referrals or realtors, and you guys can go and reference that as well. But guys, I built, and this is in the program too, I built my business on realtors. Like, at least there was a huge cornerstone in the business. And it's great because you guys can literally go on Google, type in best brokerages in your area, and you guys can do that by simply looking at their sales volume. A lot of brokerages love to show off their sales volume because they just like to run around like they're the biggest D in town, right? Go on their brokerages, go to their sales agents page, and all the beautiful thing is right in front of you. The first name, last name, email, cell phone number. You guys can copy all that into your Markate or your House Call Pro or whatever CRM you have. Create your own little customer group for realtors, and then there you go. You can start marketing to these realtors. And this is the other thing in one of this guy's Facebook posts, the guy that everyone shit on earlier, with how he was quitting the pressure washing business because he said that he'd reached out to 20 or 30 realtors. And I said in my comment, I was like, dude, 20 or 30 realtors, I mean, chances are they're not even going to see the email. I'm talking about 1,000 realtors, because I would say right now I probably have 30 or 40 realtors that I can count on to reach out to me at least every month, every other month. So I'm getting a lot of realtor business coming in. That's out of 1,000 people. So you guys can kind of see that ratio. It's like a 3 to 5% closing ratio as far as the realtors that are actually going to work with me, because you got people that they already have people. Sometimes they don't see the emails, yada, yada, yada. But that's a great way to just build your client list. I mean, you can get your CRM from 0 to 500 or 1,000 by just putting realtors in there, 1099 contractors that every single day, I mean, they work with houses every single day. And I also said in my Facebook post, I was like, let's just take the average realtor. Let's say they close 8 homes a month, which the average realtor, if they're not closing 8 homes a month, that means every other month they're not doing anything. They're not that good. So the average realtor, I would say, is closing between 6 and 8 homes. Let's say you get 1,000 homes. 1,000 realtors. That means those 1,000 realtors, those are 6,000 opportunities that you could have potentially to go in there and help them with, window cleaning. Maybe they need the pressure washing. Because I was a realtor for not a long time, but a year and a half, guys. I closed a couple of deals. And every single one of these realtors has a Rolodex of contractors. They need someone to go in there and fix the electrical, fix the roof, trim the trees, sod, power washing, window cleaning. They need those guys. So I could just tell you, if you guys are sitting here and you guys don't have any leads, you don't have anything to do, maybe you don't have the money to spend on, this print marketing or Facebook ads, dude, something that's free that you can do right now while you're sitting on the couch after dinner or whatnot, is start building your real estate list, baby, because this is something that's crazy value. It gets overlooked because people try it, but they try it one time and they try it to not too many people. I'm talking about 500 to 1,000 realtors, and I'm talking about reaching to them monthly. So chances are, if you want to, do something different, you want to get like a really, really good result, chances are you're going to need to do 10 times as much work as you probably thought, because it's just a numbers game,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's with anything, right? Like, whether you're doing door to door, you're doing washing for reviews, you're doing yard signs, it has to be at such a high volume, right? You can't put out 30 yard signs and say, oh, yard signs don't work, right? You can't go door to door for an hour and say door to door doesn't work. Like, everything has to be such a high degree of frequency. Jacob says, is there any way one of you guys could help me with one of my Google sites? Jacob, if you send me a DM, I can look into it, maybe give you a hand or point you in the right direction to some extent. But yeah, I mean, it seems like nobody else really has much feedback. I mean, I kind of talked about the things that I wanted to. Like I said, guys, I hope you guys are really enjoying the course. We really, really want your critical feedback. If there's specific content that you're not seeing that you'd like to see, if there's specific questions you need answered, like put them in the Facebook group. Austin and I are admins in several Facebook groups with 50, 60, 70,000 members in them. But our most of our emphasis is now within this Facebook group. We want to make sure that you guys are finding the highest degree of success possible. It's why we built the course. It's why we have the mentorship with Austin. It's why we're trying to do these live Q&As. It's all for those reasons. So, but yeah, I mean, it sounds like nobody else has any questions. So Austin, if you don't have anything else for me, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much it. I'll just say that I know whenever we put out this course, that one thing that was lacking, if anything, was the kind of the technicalities and the tutorials for washing. And the reason why, well, one, I was kind of going into winter and I was starting to get slams, and I really couldn't do that much tutorial videos. All the videos I could film was right here in the studio. And I also wanted to make sure you guys got something that was focused on driving revenue, which was the websites, which is how to talk to customers, how to get leads. So as March and February, so things kind of start ramping up a little bit, I'm going to fill this stuff with the washing tutorials, all the chemicals, all the technicalities. I'm going to make sure that this program is a well-rounded program that everyone can refer to. Obviously, we're going to add videos to the group. And other than that, guys, we have Joe Deary. He's going to be on the next live. If you guys don't know who that guy is, go look up Powerful Improvements on YouTube. This guy's a straight technicality guy. He's a shrewd operator. He is he's a really smart, and he's built a huge business. If you guys look at his stuff from March and April, this guy is literally doing like 7 to 8 jobs a day. His equipment is insane, and just how he's built his huge customer base is just, it's a testament to how real success can be in this business. So make sure you guys listen to that.
I'm super excited for that. Actually, I started looking into him because I hadn't watched much of his content, and you brought it up, and I'm super excited for it. To Tyler's question, really quickly before we go, will you guys be adding more content to the existing course? Yeah, I mean, obviously, like Austin said, like he's planning to add more technicality, like tutorial videos. We don't have much in the course around Facebook ads. I want to expand on some of that stuff. There's definitely a lot more stuff that we're going to consistently add to the course. We started with roughly around 70 videos, and I think the goal was to add a handful of videos every single month. So we want to consistently grow the amount of content that we have within it. It was a very big undertaking to take everything that we have and try to throw it into this course in a chronological order. Now that we have it, with your guys' feedback, we're able to see what needs to be added, and we're just going to kind of add to that. Like Jacob says, Austin, can you add a tutorial for a 5-gallon bucket downstream injector, please?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see one of those in the near future. But yeah, guys, I mean, if you guys don't have anything else, we'll go ahead and end it here. Like I said, we try to do this every Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we're going to have Joe on here. It's going to be really fun. As you guys have more questions, more feedback, feel free to use the group like that. I mean, there's no dumb questions. I mean, even your most simplest question, don't hesitate, don't hold back. Fire them off in the group, and we'll try to help you the best that we can.
Yeah, we got one last question, Mike, and then we'll wrap it up. Sean, what was the name of the site you mentioned in the course to find your Google ranking again?
For your Google Map Pack, if you want to see the ranking of your Google Map Pack, because as you guys may or may not know, depending on where you're at in the course, if you go to Google and type in pressure washing company near me and scroll down to the map pack, that is not your real rank, because Google prioritizes proximity. So if you're sitting at your home address and your business address and you search pressure washing near me, you're technically the closest pressure washing business. Yeah. So you're going to rank very high, right? If you go a mile down the road, you're going to get a different set of results. To Mike's question, if you go to localfalcon.com, you can add your Google business profile there. You can set mileage parameters, and you can punch in keywords, and it will tell you what your rank is. And it'll show like a little grid and a little map, but it's localfalcon.com. It's in that part of the, Travis has it there. Local Falcon, definitely check it out. Super insightful, guys. For those of you that have active Google business profiles, definitely check out Local Falcon. It'll give you a lot of insight as to how your Google business profile is performing. But Austin, if you don't have anything else, I guess we'll just catch everybody next week.
Yep. Thanks, guys. We'll see y'all next
absolutely,
week.
Guys. Yep. Have a good rest of your guys' night. We'll see you guys next week.